Hi, welcome to Dart Dragon Does Math. Today we're doing a little bit different. This isn't necessarily notes, it's more of an explanation of something that can be a little tricky. So I'm going to use these yellow and red counters to explain a little bit about adding and subtracting negative numbers. So before I can begin, you have to understand that a yellow dot is a positive 1 and a red dot is a negative 1. And obviously if we say plus 1 minus 1, we get 0. So a red plus a yellow is what we call a zero pair, because it's a pair of things, pair of numbers that come together that equals 0. So zero pair. So anyways, once we understand this, we can get to work. So let's do that. Alright, so the first example I want to do is I want to do 5 minus positive 2. And look at what that equals. So remember, that's 5 positives minus positive 2. So basically anytime I subtract something, I am taking it away. So I'll take 1 away, 2 away, and I'm left with 3. This is not revolutionary. You knew this already. What if we did 5 plus negative 2? And look at what that equals. So start with 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if we want to add negative 2, so I'm going to add 2 negatives to my party and see what happens. So anytime we get a zero pair on the board, that means we have a red and a yellow together. They're going to cancel each other out because they're zero pairs. So this technically goes away, this technically goes away, and what I'm left with is my 3 positives. So 5 plus a negative 2 is essentially the same thing as saying 5 minus positive 2. So what we need to notice here is that there is no difference between subtracting a positive and adding a negative. So adding a negative is subtraction, at least the way we're used to it. So keep that in mind. All right. Let's do the next example. We have negative 5 minus positive 2. Figure out what that equals. So negative 5 minus positive 2. So start out with negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want to subtract positive 2, but I do not have any positives to subtract. So the way that we make this work is we're going to put a zero pair on the board. So how this works. This is still negative 5, because remember this is equal to 0. So I'm just putting these here so that I can subtract positive numbers. So if I subtract my 2 positive numbers, what I'm left with is a bunch of negatives. In fact, I have 7 negatives. So negative 5 minus positive 2 is actually negative 7. Now what if I did negative 5 plus negative 2? So that's like having these negative 5 here and just adding 2 more negative 2s. That's maybe even more obvious why this is negative 7, because there's 7 of these. But again, the point is, subtracting a positive is the same thing as adding a negative. Okay. Next one. What about 5 minus negative 2? 5 minus negative 2. So this is positive 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want to subtract negative 2. Well, I don't have any negative 2s on the board. So remember, to subtract a negative 2, I have to put 0 pairs on the board. So I want to take these and I'm going to subtract 2 of my negatives. So take one negative away, shoot. Take one negative away, take one negative away. And surprisingly, very surprisingly actually, this is equal to positive 7. So 5 minus negative 2 is equal to positive 7. What about if I did 5 plus 2? Well, I don't think we need the dots to realize this, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 2 more positives give us a total of 7. The point here is that 5 minus negative 2 is literally 5 plus 2. Anytime you see the double negative, that little face there, that's just a positive, and we'll really drill that into you in the next couple days. Finally, negative 5 minus negative 2, and what this equals. So negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and subtract negative 2. So subtract negative 2. That's equal to negative 3. Compare that to negative 5 plus 2. Okay, so we have negative 5, and we're going to add 2 positives. Well, again, 0 pairs. These two cancel each other out. So this is gone, this is gone. This is equal to negative 3 as well. So again, the minus and negative is the same thing as a positive. And I just wanted to go through that real quick, the counters, to explain why, especially the negative of a negative is equal to a positive. Anyways, have a wonderful day.